Hello fellow Facebookers and YouTubers out there. Today I'm putting together a video for you because I'm sure a lot of you are aware that I do a lot of posts about EMFs, electromagnetic radiation, and the detrimental effects these things have on human beings, plants, and animals. So I thought I'd put together just a short little video to give you a visual of exactly what's happening to us with our technology. On this table you can see that I've got a router. This is a Nighthawk 1900, one of the best ones you can get according to wireless technology today. Roku, I got a small little TV I got the Roku hooked up to. Got my cell phone, laptop, digital clock, radio, and a lamp with an LED bulb in it. The two meters that I'm going to use today, this one is manufactured by EMF Fields. It's an Acoustimeter, one of the best on the market today. It has a frequency response from 200 megahertz to 800 gigahertz. 800 gigahertz is way beyond what we're using today. We're somewhere around the 4G. We're not even at 5G yet. So this does measure frequencies that we're being exposed to that they're not even telling us that are there. This meter here is an ME 3851A made by Gigahertz Solutions out of Germany. Gigahertz Solutions is the premier manufacturer of EMF and electromagnetic radiation detectors in the world today. You can't get better than this. Some of the measurements that we're going to be looking for today is when you're talking about radiation, you don't want to be above 2.5. That's what's considered a detrimental measurement for the cells in any living thing, whether it's plant, animal, or human being. So we don't want to go above 2.5 on that. This meter here particularly does have a max hold function on it, and the max hold function will take the highest measurement and it'll hold it there as an average. And what's important to know about that is that a lot of these waves come in pulses, and when they pulse, the pulse is actually more dangerous than the average wave because you're exposed to a much higher frequency. It's almost like getting punched with it. So this meter here particularly maxes out at 6.0 on volts per meter, which is a very high level. It's actually 100 times more than what we should be exposed to. So having said that, this meter will also peak out when you get too high. It's at 1.999 nanoteslas and volts per meter. It'll max out and it won't go any further. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the Acoustimeter, which is going to show me, any radiation, the EMFs that are coming off of these devices right here on this table. So it's got an audio alarm and a digital readout. So we're going to turn it on. And you can see your volts per meter is maxed out, and it's not moving. Right here, 6.0 volts per meter. It's already maxed out. This is microwatts per meter square, and you're looking at 21. You can see how this thing's jumping around. Look, it went up to 61. This is thousands of times higher than the recommended safe limit, and also thousands of times higher than what they would consider detrimental to cell growth. So we see that here. We start to move this here. You can see it's jumping around. But it's still maxed out. Your volts per meter isn't moving at all. It's just staying at a maxed out 6.0. It doesn't go any higher than that. So we're going to back up a little bit. It starts to drop a little bit here. You can see it's dropping a little bit. We back up, but still, we're all the way across the room, and it's still peaking out. It's still peaking. You can still see it peaking out. And this microwatts per meter square should be no more than a 2.5. 2.5, and we're at, it's bouncing up around 800, 900. So we have that. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to start to measure with this one the EMFs, the electromagnetic field that is surrounding these devices. And again here, this should be no more than 2.5 on the meter. We're looking at 40 right now. So if we move closer, there's your laptop. It's not even on right now. Looking at about 50 times what is considered to be detrimental to human cells. TV's not even on. It's maxed out. Here's your router. Even the router is less than what the TV. And routers are bad. You start backing up a little bit. You're backing up away from it. We're probably about 5-6 feet away from it now, which most people sit in front of their TV 6 to 8 feet. And we're still about 10 times what they would consider a safe limit, or where it starts to cause detrimental effects on human beings, plants, and animals. Having said that, these devices were, the safe limits were set by the FCC, and according to the Bio Initiative report of 2015, I suggest everybody take a look at that. Those standards that the FCC set for safe limit practices are actually 1,000 to 10,000 times too high. So even with this being hundreds of times too high, the safe limit standards are thousands of times too high. Even these units, these measuring equipment, even have to be revamped, and a different system of measurement has to be put in place for this to be more accurate as to what we're being exposed to. Having said that, we're going to turn this thing on. And we see by turning it on, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But if you got that thing in your lap, you're using your laptop in your lap, here. Now comes the interesting part. This is what happens when you're using your laptop and it's plugged in. It went right off the chart. Off the chart, right there. And that's about 3 to 4 inches away. So if you got this thing sitting in your lap and it's plugged in and you're using it, you're frying your insides. Here's your digital alarm clock. Off the chart. That thing is by your head while you're sleeping at night, waiting for you to wake up in the morning. LED lamp. These measurements are hundreds of times higher than what is considered to be detrimental to human beings, plants, and animals' cell growth. Okay. We'll turn the TV on. Now I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, well, he's standing right next to the TV, but mind you, even at these levels, this is hundreds of times the recommended safe limit. I shouldn't even say safe limit, it's the recommended limit as to where it causes detrimental effects to cellular growth in living beings. So it's already, I mean, even if you're back here. And again, this isn't even right, because according to the Bio Initiative report of 2012, the levels that we're using to measure this are way too high. They should be brought down a lot more, 1,000 to 10,000 times more. And this is a near field measurement, or I'm sorry, a far field measurement. So the closer you get to this thing, the worse it is. Okay. Again, we're going to switch back over to the Acoustimeter, take a couple more measurements here. Boom. Jumps right back up, right up to 6.0. That's as high as it'll go. It won't measure any higher than that. Microwatts per meter square. This is supposed to be no more than 2.5. You saw it jumped up to 13,000 here a second ago. Okay. Now what we're going to do, back up a little bit. Doesn't change at all. You can see the LEDs are just staying the same. They're just staying right up there. Doesn't matter. This whole room is being inundated with electromagnetic fields, electromagnetic radiation. You can hear the sound. Hear the sound coming through there. That's electromagnetic radiation you're listening to. So what we're going to do is we're going to start unplugging this stuff. I'm going to unplug the lamp. I'm going to unplug the clock. Levels are still up. This thing is off and it's still emitting. It's off, unplugged, and it's still emitting. Put it to sleep, still emitting. This thing is still cranking. I still got it, and it's not even plugged in. This is coming from that power pack. So we're going to unplug that. And you see how it drops down. But it's still hundreds of times above recommended safe limits and what's detrimental to cell growth. This again, still peaked out. We're going to shut this off. Then we're going to unplug it. And we're going to unplug the Roku. And you can see just by doing that how much it's dropped down. Now that's on the electromagnetic field side of it. That's your AC 50 Hertz. Now we're going to flip this over to the magnetic side of it. Boom. Router's peeking out. And we'll unplug it. We're still getting some emissions from that. And we're still getting emissions from it. Not as much, we're at 2.5, but still hundreds of times above what is recommended safe or having detrimental effects on human beings. So I hope this little demonstration has been helpful. I put it together for you so you can get a visual of exactly how dangerous this equipment is and what it's doing to us, and your proximity to it is going to have a lot to do with your exposure, and holding a cell phone up to your head, talking to it on the phone is probably the worst thing you can do because it's going right into your brain. Women, putting it in your bra, bad. Don't do that, especially when it's on. Men, don't put them in your pockets. Don't do that. It's frying your inside. Women, the same thing. Don't use this thing when you're inside of a car traveling. It's not because it's not safe. It's because it turns your car into a Faraday cage. Everything inside that car starts to become radiated. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. If you got any questions or concerns, just leave it in the comment box. Thanks.